Cyclamen. Remarks. Aversion to motion, yet motion ameliorate her pain and uneasiness. Aversion to the open air, yet open air ameliorates some symptoms, especially the coryza and cough. The marked dullness of the senses and special senses is a striking part of this picture. Chlorosis, irregular menses, and palpitation. Stitching pains. Weakness and aggravation from exertion. Flabby muscles. Most symptoms ameliorated by walking. Very restless at night. Great lassitude. Weakness in the evening, ameliorated by moving about. Sensitive to cold and cold air. Complaints from being overheated. Alternations of moods is a striking feature of the mental state. Great flow of ideas alternates with weak memory. Joyous feeling alternating with irritability. Serene humor changes suddenly into seriousness or peevishness. Grief and fear keep her in continuous mental agitation. Dullness of mind prevents mental labor. Absorbed in thought, seeks solitude, thinks about the future. Answers incoherently, confusion of mind. Aversion to work, and dread of open air. Wants to remain in a warm room, and in solitude. Remains a long time silent. Excitement with trembling. Sadness, as if she had wronged somebody, or a metallicum. Tearful and meditates upon her grief, which is only imaginary. Thinks she is alone in the world and persecuted by everyone. China. Obstinate and censorious. She grows steadily weaker, fainting spells come on, she becomes pale and anemic. These symptoms are important if associated with scanty menses or amenorrhea. Vertigo when walking in the open air, objects turn in a circle, ameliorated in a room, and when sitting. Everything turns dark before the eyes, and she falls as if fainting. Head. The pain in the head is stunning, and makes her fear she will lose her senses. Boring, darting, pressing in forehead and temples. Violent pains in the forehead. Pains worse lying on painful side or back. Pains one-sided. Pain morning and evening, ameliorated by vomiting, worse by motion and in open air. Obscure vision with the pains. Pressure in vertex, as if brain were enveloped in a cloth, which would deprive him of his senses. Headache with flickering before the eyes on rising in the morning. Pulsating in the head, rush of blood to the head, anxiety and confusion of mind, obscuration of vision, vertigo, general coldness, after dinner. Headache ameliorated by cold applications. Headaches from disordered stomach. Head feels as if he had on a skull cap. Tearing pains in the scalp. Senses. In the field of vision there are spots, fog, bluish colors, flickerings, glittering objects, various colors, now yellow, and again green, fiery sparks, smoke, halo around the light, black specks or flies. Dimness of vision, diplopia, convergent strabismus, dilated pupils, hemiopia, heat and burning, lids edematous, swelling of tipper lids, dryness and itching of lids. Dim vision during headache, impaired vision, smell, hearing and taste. Dullness of hearing, humming, ringing and roaring in the ears. Drawing pains. Sense of smell diminished, dryness in the nose, dry, or fluent coryza, worse in a warm room, better in the open air or cool room. Sneezing and watery discharge in a warm room, entirely relieved in the open air. Walking in the cold open air is his most comfortable pastime. Pressing pain over nasal bone during coryza. Takes cold from being overheated and from overheated rooms. Pale, sickly face, dark under the eyes in woman. Contracted forehead, a frown. Dry lips, numbness of upper lip. Boring, stitching, tearing in the teeth. Jerking in the teeth at night. Taste is lost, or perverted, flat, bad, putrid, rancid, all food tastes too salty. Tongue white, or yellowish. Burning blisters on tongue. Saliva increased. Burning, tip of tongue. Saliva tastes salty. Viscid mucus in the mouth. Burning, dryness and scraping in the throat. Loss of appetite and even aversion to food. Thirstless, except in the evening during fever. Desires lemonade, nitricum, acidum, belladonna, sabina. Aversion to bread and butter, and fatty things, but desires inedible things. Disgust for meat, craves sardines. Satiety after the first mouthful, Lycopodium, and then he loathes food. Stomach. Weak. Nausea after eating. Pork disagrees. The stomach symptoms are much like pulsatilla. Symptoms worse after coffee. Vomiting after eating. Vomiting in the morning. Vomiting watery mucus. Eructations. Aching in the stomach and burning in esophagus better by walking about. Fullness. As if he had eaten too much. Weight in the stomach after eating. Stitching pains in the stomach. Abdomen. Colicky pains in the abdomen, ameliorated by walking about. Tenderness all over the abdomen, even hypergastrium. Gnawing pains in the evening. Gnawing pains after food. Rumbling and gurgling in the abdomen. Paroxysmal cramps during the night, ameliorated by walking about. Stitching pains in the abdomen and liver. Diarrhea after coffee. Diarrhea in chlorotic women subject to sick headaches and menstrual irregularities. Watery, forcible stool, odorless brownish, yellow. Diarrhea in the evening. Constipation. Stool hard. Nausea. Colic before stool. Colic and urging after stool. Hemorrhoids that bleed. Drawing, pressing pain about the anus, as if a spot would suppurate. Urines. Frequent urging to urinate. Ineffectual urging to urinate. Urine profuse, watery. Flocculent sediment, iridescent cuticle. Stitching in the urethra with desire to urinate. In the male the sexual desire is diminished. Irritable prostate gland, with stitching pains, urging to stool and urine, nux. Menses. Too soon, or too late, irregular or suppressed, copious, prolonged, or scanty. When profuse, the mental symptoms are better. Flow black and clotted, labor-like pains at the menstrual period commencing in small of back and running down each side of the pubes. Uterine hemorrhage, dread of open air, menses suppressed, palpitation of the heart, weeping, aversion to company and dread of open air. Rush of blood to the head, and scanty flow. Suppressed menses from overexertion, or being overheated. Fainting at the menstrual period. After menses, milk in mammae. Complaints after weaning, China. Much scraping in the larynx at night, thick, white mucus. Tickling in the larynx and trachea. Oppression of chest. Suffocative cough, caused by scraping and dryness in the trachea. Cough comes on during sleep, from dryness and constriction of larynx. Cough ameliorated in the open air, even in a cold wind. Pressure in the middle of the sternum. Weakness in the chest. Stitching in the chest and heart. Tearing, stitching, and shortness of breath during motion and rest. Palpitation and anemic murmurs. Tumultuous action of the heart, great lassitude. Weak pulse. Sensation as if air streamed from nipples. Mammae swollen, containing milk in non-pregnant women. Mammae swollen and very hard after menses. Drawing pains in the neck, with stiffness. Twinges up the back, ameliorated by drawing the shoulders back. Stitching in the region of the right kidney, worse during inhalation. Pain in the small of the back while sitting, ceases on rising. Tearing, drawing pains in the limbs. Hyperesthesia of the skin, flabby muscles. Tearing, drawing in the upper limbs. Sensation of weakness of the hands, as if she must let fall what she holds in her hands. Writer's cramp. Drawing pains in flexors of the leg. Burning sore pain in heels. Toes feel dead after walking. Weakness in the limbs. Sleep not restful, disturbed by anxious dreams, frightful, vivid dreams, restless sleep. Late falling asleep. Wakens early, but wants to sleep late. Nightmare. Wakens early, but too tired and sleepy, cannot rise. Pollutions in dreams. Chill, fever and sweat. Chill not ameliorated by warm clothing. Chilliness during menses. Chill forenoon or evening. Chill predominates in the evening. Heat of face follows chill. Chill and heat alternate. Sensation of heat through whole body, particularly in face and hands. Heat with swelling of the veins, China. General heat after eating. Sweat at night during sleep. Offensive, sweat sometimes on lower part of body. Itching at night in bed. Numbness after scratching, or changing places by scratching. Press the red subscribe button, then press the bell icon to get the latest updates.